Well, I wasn't a guitar player, really. I can't even read music, but I can play every instrument there is, and piano being my favorite. Harry James stuff, Louis Armstrong stuff, I loved the way Harry James played, and so I always imitated him, and I did the harmonicas and anything that came to me, sax. I learned to play the big band stuff, and that's became my life. Hank Williams, of course, on the guitar, and because Gene Krupa was my big hero. He was the first man to make drums a solo instrument. I developed the style of his drumming because I love drums too. And that's how I do that. You can hear the pulse on the one. So I'm playing drums on the guitar. When I got my first guitar, I was out there in the woods and picking blueberries, and my buddy and I heard this guitar strumming. And it was like, God, we were like in Deliverance or something like that. And so we went into this old building, and there's 4 or 5 guys were just in this old house. And these guys were like, cigarettes rolled up in here and stuff like that. And he goes, my guitar's for sale. They were doing the old strumming, like cowboy stuff, you know. And he goes, how much? He goes, $8. And that was all the money in the world to me, because I was only making 5 cents an hour at a bakery making bread at the time. I, made payments 50 cents a week, until I paid it. So then what happened was I came to California in 1954 when I graduated in 11th grade in Quincy, Massachusetts. Then I went down to Balboa, rode my motorcycle down there, my Harley, and I had a 1941 flathead Harley. I met this kid who played folk guitar, and Nick O'Malley. And he goes, Dick, it'd be nice to start up a band, and he goes, but you got to play all strings. You got to put your fingers in all the strings. He goes, I don't know how to do it. You're playing upside down backwards. Okay, Leo Fender was like a second dad to me. And when I first met Leo, I said, hi, my name is Dick Dale. I'm a surfer, I got no money, can you help me out? And I'm playing in Balboa. He said, hey, I just made this guitar, and I came out to California in '54, that's when he made the Stratocaster. He handed me the Strat, and I picked it up, and I started playing it. And he just rolled off the chair and started laughing and he never laughed. He was like Einstein, he was always focusing. He goes, how come you're holding the guitar like that? It's upside down backwards. Then when Leo gave me the Strat, and he says, all right, beat it to death, and I want you to tell me what you think of it. He liked me, I guess, because I liked the same things that he did. But I started blowing up all his amplifiers, and because I had 60 gauge strings, and I used 16, 18, 20, 39, 49, and 60 gauge strings that Fender made at the time. And Freddie Tavares was from Hawaii, and he played the Hawaiian steel. Well, Leo brought him over from Hawaii to perfect the Telecaster. And Freddie would explain to me the theory. He says, if you could put pickups on a telephone pole, you'd have the fattest sound in the world. But you can't hold a telephone pole. That's why the Strat was made so thick. I got the original Strat that Leo gave me, and I pioneered a lot of the things he did. The Fender Rhodes piano, I played that first at the Hollywood Bowl when we made the Jaguars and the Jazz Masters for different reasons. Fender Contempo organ, I would use that because it had the fattest, thickest sound with an edge on it. He used to tell Freddie, when it can withstand the punishment that Dick Dale gives it, it is then fit for the human consumption. That was Leo's favorite saying, and he would chuckle, because he never would laugh. We split the atom when he finally, after blowing up 50 of his amplifiers and catching the speakers on fire, I used to fry those things. Freddie finally brought him down to the Rendezvous Ballroom where I was performing to 4,000 people a night. Leo stood in the middle of 4,000 people and he said to Freddie, now I know what Dick Dale's trying to tell me. So what happened was, he created the first 85 watt output transformer, jumping from 10 watts. He went up to 85 watts, peaking 100 watts with 5881 tubes. Then we had to have a speaker that would handle it. So he went to JBL, and we told him we wanted a 15-inch speaker with around a 10, 11-pound magnet in the back, and I wanted the aluminum dust cover in the middle so I could hear the click of my pick. So it became the JBL 15-inch D130. And then Leo, once I put it in there, he called it the Showman. And of course, the color of the amplifier was by accident because I had blown up so many. I needed one that night. He didn't have anything to cover it with. And he grabbed some cream Tolex and covered it so I could have something. Don't let anybody see it. It's very impractical. They're going to burn it with cigarettes and coffee. And I go, oh, but I love it, I love it. And so the next week he says, come here. And the whole line was all done cream Tolex. So he called it the Showman because I used to leap off my amplifiers and stuff like that. You're a showman. So that's how that happened. And then I said, I wanted to put two Lansings. No, I got to change the impedance. So he made the first 100-watt output transformer peaking 180 watts. That's like going from a VW Bug to a Testarossa. It was unheard of. And that's when Dick Dale was called the father of heavy metal, and he started making people's ears bleed. Now, for 20 years, I've been screaming about people reaching over an 8-inch guitar box or a 6-inch box and strumming, and you get Charlie horses here. And the older you get, the quicker they come. And so I said, why can't I drop my arm down? And they says, you'll never get a sound. And I said, well, here, watch this. And I say, make it all mahogany. Because when you have it in two woods, everything has a molecular structure. When you strike the string, it wants to travel like a tsunami wave, come up the side, go through the top. But when it gets to the top, it has a different wood. And it is a different molecule size. And that's the problem. So you can hear the string, but you're never going to hear the pure color. So they listened to me. They made it out of mahogany, mahogany, mahogany. I painted mine, candy apple red because I like hot rods. Jimmy, my son, his is called the Kingman, Jimmy Dale Signature Kingman. And it's all hand-rubbed mahogany, and it's the size of a dreadnought. It's the large size, but with only 3-inch body on it. 2 pickguards, so that when you strum overzealously, you don't scratch up here either. And I'm getting so many compliments from people saying that they really like that, the way it looks with the design too. Then we put the Stratocaster, Fender Stratocaster neck into there. So with all of these things, and this is only a 3/4 size. Isn't that unbelievable? So now I will never play any of my other acoustic guitars because I can play this one all day long, see? Isn't that nice?